Welcome to Roaming with Restless Women, real talk with wise, dynamic women leaders. I'm Julie Noonan, your host, CEO, and founder of Intuitive Wisdom Coaching, and I'm living my dream life. I live and work in my RV, coaching senior women leaders as they navigate corporate politics, family drama, and personal goals to live their own dream lives. These women are restless. They are never done seeking new opportunities, learning, and ways to create value in the world. If you'd like to apply to be a guest, stick around to the end of the show and I'll let you know how. So let's go. All right. Welcome to this episode of Roaming with Restless Women. Today I have Marian Saint. She is a dedicated entrepreneur. Marian brings a unique blend of sales expertise, business consulting acumen, and a passion for empowering others. With years of experience in the insurance industry and a solid foundation in sales, she understands the importance of building strong relationships and delivering value to clients. At her photography studio, Marian specializes in creating memorable and impactful images that capture the essence of important milestones and relationships. She's particularly passionate about working with women, helping them feel confident and empowered through personalized and meaningful photography sessions. Her approach is client-centric, ensuring that each individual feels seen, valued, and celebrated. I love that. Recognizing the challenges faced by small business owners and creatives, she also runs Agency Ignite, a sales and marketing agency focused on delivering tailored solutions that drive growth and visibility. Her agency is dedicated to helping entrepreneurs and artists navigate the complexities of marketing and crafting compelling messages that resonate with their target audiences. Her goal is to provide high quality, accessible solutions that empower clients to succeed. Welcome, Marian.
Hi, it was so good to be here. Thank you, Julie. I'm excited to talk more today.
That sounds great. Now, you've got two businesses, and you used to do insurance. So tell me how that happened.
Absolutely. So I went back to school for my MBA because I thought I needed to learn something about business. And I got a job with State Farm right out of grad school. I was consulting with the agency owners, helping them, corporate says, this is what your numbers look like. This is what we can do, work with your team about. And during that time, I was working with a lot of older men, and I'm like, they would listen to what I had to say, but I needed to bring a little bit more than corporate told you to do this. So I decided to launch a photography studio, essentially to have both a creative outlet, but then also because I'm like, I want to test some ideas, some business things that I've learned in school.
Oh,
And yeah, and take that to the agents. And then it expanded more than I expected. I took that full time in 2020. And I've always done consulting a little bit on the side, just word of mouth. And this year I redid a bunch of my systems and processes. And I'm like, you know what? I need to actually help more people with this. I'm good at this. I love it. We're going to go
oh,
back to doing
well,
that too.
well, let me just tell you, having opened my company, oh gosh, in 2020, I got laid off when I was 57
Wow.
from my consulting career. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you, probably the hardest thing has been getting my company's systems and processes put together.
Mm-hmm.
So many mistakes, I can tell you.
Mm-hmm.
So, what was it that, I mean, when did you know that you were an entrepreneur? When did you know that, this was kind of your calling?
That's so funny because if you had asked, so I grew up, my dad was a business owner, and I just remember how stressed he was growing up and how tight the budget was and all. And I remember I'll never have my own business. I'm always going to work for somebody else. And so if you had asked me 10 years ago, 5 years ago, I'd been like, oh, I don't know about that. That sounds stressful. Even 5 years ago. And I took the photography full time in 2020. That was 4 years. Um, but I think I had to just work on building my confidence up and
Oh,
realizing I could do it. And business owners we are a unique breed, but it's not rocket science. If you want something, you can work towards it and go after it. And it's gonna be okay.
absolutely. Wow. And so the bug bit you and you didn't even know it bit
Mhm.
you.
It did. Yeah, exactly. Man.
Doggone it. Never
Exactly.
say never, right?
We're always growing. And I think I always say business is the best personal growth path you can really take. And you don't even expect it. It kind of hits you. And you're like, oh man, I'm going to have to work on myself if I really want to grow and scale my business. I didn't sign up for this. I just wanted to make money and do what I love. Like,
Right, exactly. So why photography in particular?
I had always wanted to do photography. Even during my undergrad, I had really looked at other people that did it. I did a big trip in college. We did the Mekong River and went to Asia. And I remember one of the guys on the trip just took these beautiful pictures that were
Oh,
just, I could, I saw the same things he saw, but I just could not capture it in the same way he did. And I knew I always wanted to do it, never took the time, didn't make the space for it. And so after right before my second child was born, I'm like, you know what? I really, really want to do this. Feel
yeah.
like I'm so left brain. I'm not a creative person. I definitely said we speak so many negative things over ourselves sometimes.
Yes, we
Yeah.
do.
Right. And
I'm not this, I'm not that.
exactly. And it's crazy. We limit ourselves.
Hmm.
And I realized I was able to help people see themselves in a different way and be able to help women, especially now, help women see themselves as beautiful and empowered and have fun during that time. That's really how that came about.
Absolutely. So describe some of your sessions. What do you do particularly?
I have a lot. So I have a studio. I have women come in, they'll sit for their hair and makeup if that's something that they want, which is just a really calming time for them to
Yeah.
focus a little bit more on themselves. A lot of the women that I have come in are going through some sort of transformation or have.
Mhm.
So they're either maybe getting divorced, getting remarried, maybe their kids are leaving home after raising kids, something, and they just want to feel beautiful and have fun. And that's really why they come in. And so I do a lot of boudoir photography,
Mhm.
and it's just really, really fun to help women see themselves in a different light and feel special about themselves.
Oh, that's amazing. That sounds like fun.
It is. It's a lot of fun.
And your studio is in Dallas or
Yep,
the
we're in the
Dallas
Dallas
area?
Fort Worth area. Yep.
Very
So
good. That's amazing. Okay, so um you sold a business. Am I correct?
I was helping in Allstate and State Farm. What I did is I helped agency owners if they were planning on retiring or moving into something else. I helped
Okay,
them sell their business. Yep. And then I helped bring
got
on
it.
new people who were buying. So with Allstate, you can buy an agency. State Farm, they'll usually send the policies off to somebody else. But I
Hmm.
did work in both companies helping one, scale their business to growth or retirement, and then find a new buyer or a new agency owner with State Farm where they'd come in and take over the policies. And so bringing them on and doing that whole transition. And
Okay. And so
yes,
did that kind of did that experience kind of point you in the direction of Agency Ignite,
it
or was
did.
it your own personal experience?
So it was a mix. So I'm
Okay.
so grateful for working for the Fortune 100 companies, both of
Yeah.
them. And they were big corporate, seeing how corporate did things. I had really good experience in both of them. And so getting that experience was really, really helpful. And I was still working with small business owners. So even though they were huge
Yeah.
companies, they had smaller teams. Their focus was a little different. Everything was really close to home. And so
Right.
I really developed a love for working with business owners, small businesses, entrepreneurs, and then now creatives, because there's so many hats that you're wearing and juggling. And I
Uh-huh.
really know how it is to like, okay, we've got to figure out stuff. We got to get our marketing in place. You always feel like you're dropping the ball in some area.
Oh,
And
yes.
yeah, exactly. Oh,
And so when you started Agency Ignite, um, how did you start marketing your Agency Ignite business?
it's all been word of mouth so
Mhm.
far. So
Oh, great.
it's been really interesting splitting. So the photography studio, it's a lot of social media, Facebook ads, being
Mhm.
online. And then with Agency Ignite, it's all been word of mouth, networking in the local community, having different people reach out when they see, when I share what's been going on, just a little bit on social media. So having that one-to-one connection in a new area, since I've only been in Dallas for 2.5 years, has been really fun to be able to
Yeah.
connect with people in that way.
Well, that sometimes that is hard for people when they move to a new area. They had a great, um, consistent network, and wherever they were, they had no problem going in and selling their services. They were well known, and then all of a sudden they go into a brand new area. Talk to me a little bit about how that felt to you, having just moved to Dallas. What'd you say, 2 years ago?
2.5 years ago. Yeah.
Wow.
Great
Why did you
question.
move, and how did you align yourself with this community?
Absolutely. So I was born and raised in Hawaii, grew up
Yes.
there, went to
Why would you
college.
leave?
Oh, I know. Hawaii is so beautiful, but I felt
Yeah.
like it was time for a change.
Uh-huh.
I wanted a little bit more opportunity. Hawaii is like a really also expensive place to live too. And
Oh,
I wanted
yes.
to road trip a little more, travel with my kids. And Dallas is such a vibrant business community.
Yes.
And they really are very family friendly, especially when we're a little more in the suburbs. And so I decided, you know what, let's pick up and let's go to Dallas. And it has been great so far. So the first little bit of time I didn't plug in super fast. It's really been over the past year where I've been
Hmm.
attending networking events, connecting with people. I um I really set my intention to only connect with authentic, genuine people, because you always see a mix of that.
Yes.
And I've been incredibly blessed. I've really met some awesome people, and I think genuine recognizes genuine, and
Yes.
just been able to find that good community.
That's exactly right. I know that what's difficult for me being a digital nomad is that I don't sell in a particular geography. And
Yeah.
so it's difficult to maintain those relationships when, you're in 3 time zones away,
Mhm.
basically. So
Absolutely.
I really appreciate, the fact that you're able to just get in there in that one community and make it work so well. That's
Thank
great.
you. Thank you. Well,
Yeah.
I'm jealous of your life too because you get to see all these new places. And
Yeah.
I feel like you're just in a different mindset about seizing the moment. And you have a job that you
Absolutely.
can actually take on the road too, which is
Oh,
really
yes.
cool.
Yes. I think it's always the grass is always greener, isn't it?
That's
But
true.
that was one thing with being a consultant for as long as I was. I never had that local community because I was always in
Mhm.
another city. I was always traveling all over the place, and so I kind of got used to that.
Mm.
So it's not as burdensome as it could be, being on the road, but I love it. So you have a question here that you suggested that I ask. What is your self-esteem and self-empowerment mission?
Mm. Great question. Great question. So, this really started for me personally. I'm divorced. I had been in a pretty toxic relationship. And I think when you're in a toxic relationship, it's really easy to point the finger and be like, the other person is the worst ever.
Yeah.
And looking at like, okay, well, they may be incredibly toxic and a horrible jerk, but what is I can only control myself and
Right.
I can only control my own thing. So during that relationship, I responded like pretty negative. I put on weight. I was like really in a bad place. And so when I got out of the relationship, it took a while for me to like really, and I always think of weight is really like shedding extra stuff, whatever extra stuff. And I like to correlate the two of them. And so am
I
I
like that.
being
Yeah.
authentic to myself? Am I taking care of my own needs in a really good way? And then I'm like releasing everything that doesn't serve me. So I was carrying a lot of bitterness and like
Mm,
just negative stuff from that relationship. And it took a while to let go of that. Um, but when I did, I realized, okay, there's so many people that are going through something similar. They might not necessarily like, have gotten a divorce, but like we all just have a lot of like weight and heaviness that can
yes.
accumulate through life, whether it's like things from childhood or things from our present or as an adult. And so I like to work with ladies and help, like I said, help them see themselves in a different way. And I usually find myself that I'm part of somebody's transformation journey. So I'm part of
Yes.
them working on their own stuff and trying to help support themselves and see themselves differently. And so I'm like a stop. I like to say, this session, this photo session that you have with me is a milestone in your growth journey. So we're not at the
Mm,
end. You could come back to me in a year, and a lot of people do in a year or 2 years and have a very different vibe because I'm part of that journey that you're taking. And I just feel really special to be able to like hold space for women to kind of feel that. And I talk about that when we have our onboarding calls, when we're in the session too. And it's all with like, let's have fun together and
Hmm.
let's like really celebrate what's going on. But I love recognizing like, oh, you're going through some stuff and you're gonna come out the other side like you come so much better and more empowered and stronger.
Absolutely. I had a coach at one point who recognized that I was holding my own self back.
Mm,
And she said, "You need to stand in your power. Stand in your power." And that mantra keeps coming up for me as I, stumble around in my business sometimes, or I make a stupid decision, which happens. Um, I absolutely love those little nuggets. This is a milestone. I love that. I'm part of the journey. This isn't all there is.
mm-mm.
There is a next step. I love all of that. That's perfect. I
Thank
love
you.
it. So, what are some of the most common mistakes that you see small business leaders and entrepreneurs make?
Yes, and this is only because I've seen it and I've probably done it too. So this is not coming from any place of judgment. Like, oh
Yeah.
my God. Um, I think being one really big thing is being the leader that you would want your team to emulate. I know it's a lot of, I don't even want to say weight and responsibility. You have to really live into it. But making sure that you work with your team in a way that benefits them and that you are really supporting them as much as possible. I know I've interacted with my team at times and I'm still working on this, but in like a style that I like. So I'm going to manage you in a way that I like, which is hands off when sometimes people need more hand holding or more meetings or more discussions.
Hmm.
And so that's been a big thing. The other thing is really having a plan, like getting back to those systems and processes. It's not the most fun. And you don't have to get everything done at once, but I think if you have a vision for your overall business, how you want it structured, I personally, I write everything down. I have it in a Google Drive Excel document. So I have different tabs. I did learn this from another consultant too. He's super great. But you have different tabs for each of the different areas of your life. So your business, like for me, I'd split it in between the businesses. And it's all the things that you want to
Hmm.
accomplish in all these different areas, business, personal life, if you're corporate, professional life, whatever that looks like, family, travel. And then you want to go through each of those things. I do it once a day, just to keep everything focused. And you want to pull the things over that you're going to actually work on that day. And
Hmm.
so, and you could do it like this week, I want to accomplish this. I also have this month, I want to do these many things, this many clients, these are the different things. And that way you stay focused and you don't get overwhelmed. Like, okay, I have 200 things I need to do between all these tabs. I can only do one today. So that's what
Right.
gets moved over to the daily tab. And I think that way you get an overview for all the systems and processes you need in your business, but then you don't get stuck in there. Um,
Right. Exactly. I used to do something similar when I would get overwhelmed with all the projects that I had as a consultant. I had a whiteboard when I used to have an actual office, and I would only write the very next step, not all 800 steps to get from
mhm.
beginning to end, just the very next step. So that would be, in my mind, that would be equivalent to your
Yes,
daily sheet.
exactly.
Yeah,
Yep. Yep. Because that's all you need to do. Today is this job. That's
that's
all you have to
right.
finish.
Because it is easy to get overwhelmed, with those 800 steps. You're exactly right.
Yep, exactly. Or perfectionist or analysis, like and then you just don't do anything. Like, oh no, can't do that.
Exactly, exactly. How do you manage your incoming emails? Because that's one of the things I hear a lot from people, especially ADHD people like me.
Uh-huh, I gotcha. So I go into it only twice a day, not all the time, and I try to batch everything then. I'll snooze stuff if I don't want to see it. So for me,
Mhm.
and this is just everybody's a little different, but having a cleaner inbox is
Yes.
like emotionally better. So I'll snooze emails like I'm not going to take care of this today. I'm going to take
Yeah.
care of this in 2 days or next week. So I just snooze it so it goes away and then comes back. Um, that's really helpful.
Yes.
If I can put something on the calendar so I can delete it, or if you want like archiving stuff has been really helpful too.
Mm-hmm.
And then my team is also in my email and they work on stuff and they take the tasks that they need to do also. And then personally, I've also in my CRM system, I've built out an AI automation that allows it so it responds to certain text messages, emails, and web chats with like especially really easy to answer
Mm-hmm.
repeatable tasks. I've tried to go through and like what's the repeatable stuff and have that automated as much as possible.
That's amazing. Yeah, I think a lot of us are looking for ways, to automate some of that everyday stuff that if you add it up, it could waste an hour, 2 hours of your day just doing the
100.
the easy stuff because it's
Yes,
easy to do. You put it on your list and then yeah, and
exactly.
probably not the best use of your time.
Nope, nope. So I've looked at like whatever can be automated, let's
Mm-hmm.
do that. And I have a really great system that I built out for that. And that's I use that for my clients also. So we build out their whole system. Let's automate what we can, get everything
Yep.
on one platform. It's been great.
Oh, that's amazing. Well, I'm sure a lot of people will be interested in hearing more about that. I ask three questions at the end of all of my interviews. And the first one, I will ask you to close your eyes for just a moment and describe the picture that appears in your mind when I say wise woman, and then open your eyes and tell me about her.
Mhm. To me, I love that question. I love that when you say it, to me, it's connecting on a really, really deep emotional level with somebody. I think so often it's easy to go to outside sources for what you want to believe or think or feel or imagine. And I think that I've had to learn to sit with myself a little bit more and dig into both emotions and feelings and action steps on a really deep level. So it's about trusting yourself. So a wise woman to me would be your internal voice that you can trust or that you, some people and myself included, we got to learn to retrust again
Mhm.
and peel back whatever layers that you've allowed to get on top and just be able to sit with yourself too, um, so that you can have that wisdom and that you can share it with your family, with your everybody around you.
And you can use it yourself, first of all, right?
Exactly. Yes.
Exactly. Yeah. So, where do you like to roam?
So I'm so grateful that I got to be on the mainland. So from Hawaii, we call everything on the mainland. That's the continental United States. Um, This past summer, my kids and I did a road trip and we went to a lot of southern Utah national parks and we did
Yes.
Santa Fe, New Mexico. And so roaming to me is especially being in the mountains or anywhere that you're exploring, seeing new things and building memories. And usually it's with my kids. So it's a lot of memories together as a family. That's roaming to me. New ventures,
Beautiful.
new horizons. Thank
How
you.
old are your kids, by the way?
10, 12, and 16.
Oh my goodness. Girls,
Hmm.
boys?
Two girls and one boy.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they're all little outdoorsy adventurers too. So,
Oh, that's amazing. That's terrific.
mhm.
Okay. So, Mike, last question for you is what makes you restless in a good way?
Mm. When I know I'm supposed to be doing something and I've been ignoring it. When I know I'm supposed to be doing more than what I currently am, and it's right there, and I've been putting it off, and again, maybe not listening to that inner voice as much as I should have,
Mm-hmm.
and that there's more, that
Yeah.
there's more that I'm supposed to accomplish.
Wonderful. Well, it has been great speaking with you today, Marian. You are a font of information and great ideas. Thank you so much. And I know that you have some giveaways for our audience. There's a free
Mhm.
marketing audit for you guys, a boudoir session checklist in case you're thinking about getting a boudoir session, and then personal branding prep guide. I'm particularly interested in seeing that. There's a
Yeah.
lot of information out there about personal branding these days. So it'd be real interesting for you guys to go out and get that from Marian. Also, we have some links in that are going to be in the show notes for Marian's from Marian, so you can go and check out her businesses and see how she might be able to help you with your business if you're a small business owner or an entrepreneur. Marian, thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Julie Noonan here. Thank you so much for listening to Roaming with Restless Women. If you're a successful senior woman leader who would like to be on this program, please visit podcast.intuitivewisdomcoach.com. If you enjoyed this interview, please share this episode on social media and make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any future episodes. Your thumbs up, ratings, and reviews go a long way to help promote the show, and they mean a lot to me, my team, and most importantly, my restless guests. As a special gift to you, our listeners, I offer a free one-on-one 15-minute breakthrough session. Bring a problem and experience how coaching works to see if it could be of value to you. Sign up for an available time on my website, intuitivewisdomcoach.com. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.